I mean, I know the Giants defense didn't go that far. See, here's the thing. I can shit on you, but you didn't also throw two pick six. Matt Ryan did. Matt Ryan has thrown more touchdowns to a Bucks defender than his own team.
This is going to be a fun week. What is going on, guys? Welcome. Week 3 of Knicks Picks is a very highly anticipated one because for the first time in Knicks Picks history, both mine and Ben's team are facing off. I am joined once again, of course, by Ben. Ben, this is the week. This is where it all happens. The Falcons going up against the Giants. We didn't get the benefit of getting this last year. Now we get the benefit of watching our two very highly anticipated 0-2 teams duking it out for literally nothing other than pride. It has been a strange year so far in the NFL, but week 2 we did do a lot better than we did in week 1. In week 1, we got a lot of stuff wrong. Week 2, we both did get a lot of stuff right, but unfortunately for me, I did not gain any ground on Ben because he got some bullshit 2-point conversion where Matt Stafford decides to outthrow the entire NFC North. Anyway, score is currently 25-23, Ben, in a bet that we haven't even made yet. But we have 4 games to get through along with the other picks, so let's get it going. The game of the week, and this is another game that me and Ben almost picked the exact same game for, but this time, unlike last week where I got to steal the real game of the week, I'm letting Ben have the real game of the week. My game of the week, though, is not a hell of a lot worse. I do have the Green Bay Packers going up against the San Francisco 49ers. First, I just want to mention the NFC West. We were very right on. We said that this was going to be one of the best divisions in football. Every team in that division is undefeated except for Seattle, and they're 1-1, and they lost to a very good Tennessee team. So there is no team in this division that's all that bad. That being said, San Francisco, their first 2 games, they played Detroit and they played Philadelphia. In my eyes, not a very tough competition to go against in weeks 1 and 2. I do give the edge to Green Bay here, and I have them winning this game 38-24. And the reason for that being is I know Green Bay kind of had a very slow start in week 1 against it's New Orleans. But they definitely showed themselves a lot better in week 2 against Detroit. And I know I just ragged on San Fran for playing Detroit, but at least we did get to see that Aaron Rodgers is looking a little bit more like himself and hasn't completely given up on the season for Green Bay. Like I said in the preseason predictions, I do think that the San Francisco 49ers are the worst team in the West, but that being said, that does not mean San Francisco is bad in any means because worse than the West is best in like 3 other divisions in this league.
Well, obviously that is a very good game. Honestly, I think we could probably swap, and I don't think we'll both be fine with either of them being our game of the week because that is a very good matchup. Obviously Sunday Night Football, well deserved. I'm surprised this matchup for mine isn't Monday night, and instead it's the Eagles and Cowboys, and that is of course my pick for the NFC Championship game, and that is the Bucks and the Rams in SoFi Stadium. One thing I also didn't realize in our preseason, I picked the Rams to go and win the Super Bowl, and it's in SoFi. Never realized that until week 1. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Well, it happened last year with Tampa, so
hey, you know what? Maybe that'll happen. Now. I do have the Bucks winning this one, 30-24, and the reason why I have them slightly beating the Rams here is even though the Rams, in my opinion, have the better defense, the Bucks have the better offense. Both these teams are really great, top to bottom, no matter how you look at it. But there's just more. I have more confidence, as much as I hate to say it, in the Bucks than the Rams here on offense.
I will say I will say I have the Rams winning this one, 35-31, if that's any consolation. So that could be a 3-point swing for you because I won't even get a point if the Bucks win this game.
I mean, that's
you
true.
Have fun rooting for Tom Brady this weekend. I'll stick to my guns and root against him. So for the upset of the week, I went through all the games this week, and it was hard. There was not a lot of upsets to be seen. One of the other ones that I did think about doing was Chicago over Cleveland. The only reason for that would have been Chicago's defense, the way that they've been playing these first 2 weeks. But then I realized the Carolina Panthers are 2-0 with Sam Darnold at quarterback. They've beaten New Orleans, who we could say New Orleans is not the same without Drew Brees, but they beat the shit out of Green Bay. And they beat the Jets, which it's the Jets, but whatever. So Sam Darnold, 2-0 as a starter for the Carolina Panthers. He's got CMC with him. Their defense isn't bad by any means. They go up against the Houston Texans this year, and now Houston, out of fucking nowhere, they beat Jacksonville week 1. Now, they weren't able to get past Cleveland, but they fought Cleveland pretty hard last week. So I actually have Houston winning this one 23-20 for my upset of the week, just because I looked at Carolina. I was like, you're 2-0. I'll give you the win for the Jets, but last week I think was a fluke. I think either New Orleans didn't show up ready or Jameis Winston is just that inconsistent. But I do think that this Carolina team starts to fall off and they lose to some teams that maybe that they should beat. So I think this was my safest upset that I could go with, being down 2 points early in the picks. So I have the Houston Texans winning 23-20 over the Carolina Panthers.
The team with no name. That's right. That is the Washington name redacted beating the Buffalo Bills. Yep, here it is. Ben, the Buffalo hater. Oh my God, it's here again. Look, these two teams have great defenses. Let me just put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
And also,
is that why the Washington defense gave up 29 points to Daniel Jones and the Giants offense?
Is that why that Washington still won over the Giants?
It's the Giants. It's not Buffalo.
Sorry, I don't think you had to talk yet. Let me know when Slayton or Evan Ingram have hands.
It's the Giants. It's not Buffalo. Buffalo just won 35-0. Washington gave up 29 points to the Giants offense.
Against Miami that didn't have Tua, and they were still losing with Tua.
Washington went up against the Giants who got nobody. Miami's better than the Giants. I'm saying that.
This is the upset. See, this is why it's an upset.
It's an upset, all right. It's the Giants versus Patriots all over again upset. But it's an upset.
I mean, look, do I believe in Heineke or whatever? No, I believe in him as much as him getting a sponsorship from Heineken beer. I've been on the record for saying that. Until he gets a sponsorship from that fucking beer company, I mean, if he does, I'll be happy, honestly, at that point.
Right.
But this is going to be a very defensive game. But I do have Washington barely eking out a 24-20 win, just because I think Josh Allen is just going to have a little bit of a slump, but he is going to be just fine. He won't. I don't even think he's going to have a bad game. I just think Washington will just make one play like they did last week just to get them that win. But who knows?
Okay, so this is the game we've been waiting for: the New York Giants going up against the Atlanta Falcons. And when I say we've been waiting for, I mean. Oh, yeah, nobody's fucking waiting for this game. Got it. What? All right. I would like to go on the record and say I have never, and I am not exaggerating when I say this, I have never been more pissed off after a football game than I was after that Thursday night game against Washington. My fucking God. If you did not watch that game, let me give you a quick recap. Daniel Jones had a 60-yard touchdown run called back on a bullshit hold, I'm going to point out. I know every fan blames the refs. That was a bullshit hold. Number 2, we had Darius Slayton with no defender within 40 yards of him drop a wide open pass. And I am a huge Darius Slayton fan. Boy, that hurt. And number 3, after everything that had happened, everything, the football gods were like, you know what, Giants? You played the better game. You had all around the better team all game. Daniel Jones finally played like a real fucking quarterback. The only person for the Giants to show up in that game. The football gods were like, you know what, Giants? You did this. You deserve this win. We'll let Washington miss the field goal. But Dexter Lawrence is going to be offsides, and they're going to get to kick it again and make the field goal. The Giants play the Falcons in week 3. And look, if the Falcons didn't suck, I'd give this to you, Ben. But I had already said that I was going to spite you and have the Giants win this game. And to be honest, if the Giants play about as well as they did against Washington, they can beat Atlanta 27-20. Also, the Giants are home. and they're favored for probably the only time this season. So 27-20.
Anyway, I'm picking the Giants to lose. No, this is probably going to be the only time, and probably the last time, other than Atlanta. Actually, never mind. Atlanta does play the Jets, and they might actually lose to the Jets. Anyway, this is probably the only time I'll pick Atlanta, unless they play Tampa, and I think if they played Tampa and still benched everyone, I could still see Atlanta losing by 20. Mm-hmm. Anyways, my pain aside, this is the one time that I want Atlanta to just give me a shred of hope. They were up. I think it was the end of the third. They were only down by 3. I'm like, wait, Atlanta might win. There might be a chance, even though I picked against them. Wait, nope, 2 picks. Oh, there it is. There's the Falcon team I know and love. Yeah. Unfortunately, but no, I do have Atlanta winning. I have them winning 28-24, and the only reason why I have Atlanta scoring 28 points is because even though the Giants, not even arguably, factually have the better defense. That's not an argument. I will not argue that any day of the week. Mm-hmm. Atlanta's defense is probably barely better than a Pee-wee football team, how they played the last 2 weeks. But it is just because I do think Atlanta, Matt Ryan, I think is better than Daniel Jones, even though Daniel Jones had a better game last week, hands down. I think Matt Ryan has the experience, and he'll have one game where he shows that he is a very good quarterback, and then it will all go downhill. We'll tank, hopefully trade him so we don't have to pay him $40 million next year, and I'll live in the basement.
All right, so for the last games to talk about the wild card picks, this was a game that easily could have been the game of the week, but I went with the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the LA Chargers. Now, the LA Chargers I picked last week to get upset by the Dallas Cowboys on a last-second field goal that managed to happen. So they're coming off a tough loss to Dallas, and they're going up against their division rival and in most aspects the best team in the league, the Kansas City Chiefs. The gap between Mahomes and Herbert, I feel, is a little bit bigger than Herbert or Mahomes and maybe say Josh Allen or Mahomes and maybe say Lamar. But I do think that Herbert is a very underrated quarterback and a very underappreciated for the fact that he's only in his second year, and he's absolutely taking control of this LA Chargers team. Now, am I picking against the Chiefs? Absolutely fucking not. 38-30, I have the Chiefs winning this one over the Chargers. But I do think, and I will get into this in my 2-point conversion, that both of these quarterbacks are going to have a hell of a game. And I do think that we see a lot out of Herbert in this game that just shows that, hey, I'm in this division too.
My wild card is going to be the Browns and the Bears. And the reason why is because I think that these two teams are good for different reasons. I do think that eventually, if you're Chicago, I don't know if Andy Dalton is healthy or if Justin Fields is going to start. I actually would hope Justin Fields starts because I predict that he would start by week 4. Now, if I'm Matt Nagy, I would be like, hey, let's start Nick Foles, because the same reason why I said Andy Dalton's the punching bag for Aaron Donald week 1. I'd rather have Nick Foles be the punching bag for Myles Garrett and this Browns defense.
Right.
And in all honesty, they could have won. They could have been 2-0. They almost beat the Chiefs week 1. So this Browns team is very good. And I think that the Bears team, at least defensively, is phenomenal. But I do have the Browns winning this one 24-21. And I think if Justin Fields is in this game, I think it could be a very tight, back and forth game. The reason I have it as a field goal game is because I think maybe Chicago gets a last second touchdown and hey, pity garbage time. I think realistically, I think the Browns will have this game all the way through, and then maybe Fields goes in and gets a touchdown, and we'll make me see more of him hopefully going forward. I do think he is the future of Chicago. I think everyone believes that, and we'll see what happens.
Last week, I tried to go with passing yards, rushing yards, and total touchdowns with a specific quarterback. It was Kyler Murray. And he absolutely blew the passing yards out of the water, but he didn't get to run the ball a whole lot. And I think part of the reasoning for that is quarterbacks, unless you're Daniel Jones or Lamar Jackson, don't run the ball anymore. So this week, I should say, I'm going just off passing yards and touchdowns. I think that we are going to get a passing show in this game. And the only passing show I would like to see more is the Chiefs go up against the Bills. But we didn't get that quite as much in the AFC Championship last year. So this year, it's Mahomes and Herbert. I'm having them combined for 700 total passing yards, so that's at least 350 each. It doesn't have to be 350 each. It can be like 370 and 320 or 330. But as long as it equals up to 700 total offensive passing yards, on top of that, 6 total touchdowns. So if Herbert only wants to throw 1 touchdown, I need Mahomes to throw 5.
So mine is kind of going off of yours in a sense, but it's more so going on my game of the week and your wild card. And that is that I think Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford, look, both vets. Obviously, Brady is like vet plus because like he wants to play till he's 50. I think that they will show out. They'll throw for a lot of yards. I think they'll do just fine. But this is the young gun league, and I think not whether this is good or bad for either of us in the long run, who knows? Hopefully mine's more right, but I am saying this right now. The young guns of Mahomes and Herbert will outduel Brady and Stafford. What I mean by that is Brady and Stafford combined will have less passing yards and passing touchdowns compared to Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert combined.
So Tom Brady has been in the league for a lot of years.
Yeah.
How many years have you wanted Tom Brady and the Patriots or Tom Brady and the Buccaneers to lose?
Yes.
And how many years did betting against Tom Brady or rooting against Tom Brady work out for you? All right. So I did it a little out of order this week, but it doesn't matter. Here are all the other picks that we do not talk about during the week. All of these, like I say every week, are worth 1 point compared to the 2 points that all the ones that we did talk about are worth, and the 2-point conversion is worth. But that is all of them. That is the game of the week, the wild card, our pick, and the upsets of the week, along with our picks and the other picks and the 2-point conversion. Look, it's the Giants and the Falcons this week. That's the game that me and Ben are going to be watching, like, specifically, but hopefully you guys watch some of the more entertaining games of the week because, look, I'm hoping for at least a small amount of comedy out of this game. Like, I'd like to see Matt Ryan try to run the ball and stumble over his ass, and then Daniel Jones throw a late pick or I don't know, something where they like flip rolls or something. I don't know.
If Matt Ryan runs for more than like 10 yards,
that should be a 2-point conversion. Matt Ryan will have 11 yards rushing. But
I think that's better for him to have that for the season than just the game.
I would have to say that our audience is rather sick of us complaining about the Giants and the Falcons. So Ben, before we head out, is there anything non-Giants Falcons related that you would like to say before we head out?
Even though I picked the Rams from the Super Bowl, their team is better than their logo, in all honesty.
Honestly, like I like the old logo a lot better. But guys, let
it
us
looks
know.
Like you have like a slick back.
That's something you can drop in the comments for us, guys. Let us know down below. Do you like the Rams' new logo or do you like the old logo better? I like St. Louis a lot better. But the LA Rams, they're here to stay. Guys, I hope you enjoyed week 3 of Nick's Picks. Week 4 will be out next Thursday at around the same time. I don't have a specific time that I post them. It just happens on Thursday. Thursday night game tonight is the Carolina Panthers against the Houston Texans, so I hope you guys enjoy that game, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you did, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one. Peace.
You want me to say bye like every single time? Like,
yes.
All right. Peace out.